Well, good evening, and welcome to the And One Podcast presented by the Sports Empire Network. I just want to say this is not the official launch. This is what we call a soft launch. And I will say, for this to be a small launch, you have such a big surprise coming towards you because we have the best of the best when it comes to debating the NBA. This is our NBA show, the N1 podcast. I want to introduce the co-host of the show, Cool McCain. What's going on, gentlemen?
What it do, what it do. Y'all
And then
already
I
see what it
want,
is. I wear it proudly.
yeah, we can see. And then we want to introduce my brother Marcus. What's going on, Marcus? How you doing?
Man, let me tell you something right now. The intro and everything for a soft launch, we doing it big right now. So we about to rocket this empire straight on to the moon. So let's go ahead and get it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then we have the one and only from when it comes to the raw mind, when it comes to his tape, Mr. Ryan Jones. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well, man. Raw mind, raw thoughts are on the way.
A beautiful day.
Let's go.
It's the only way. There we go. Like we said, this is a soft launch, and we have a lot more things coming to you guys. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, we have the big dogs. The big dogs. They're gonna come in and break down all of college football. If it's college football, they will cover it, and you will not want to miss that show in the morning. I promise you. But like I said, this is a soft launch. We have a lot of things that's still being worked on behind the scenes. If you're interested in joining the Sports Empire Network, please let us know. We after this short break, we will be back. We will do what we do best here at the Empire because we are building an empire. You best believe that. But we'll be right back after this.
I keep falling, never falling 6 feet deep. For real, G, I'ma fulfill my dream. The mind activation, react like I'm facing time. Like for real, G, I'ma fulfill my dream. I keep falling, never falling 6 feet deep. For real, G, I'ma fulfill my dream. The mind activation.
Coming to a city near you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate all the love and support. We really do mean that. Light us up in the comments. Let us know what you feel about with the debate. Okay, but all that's done over. All the nine stuff is gone. Now I can do what I do best to get under these gentlemen's skin. That's the goal, and that's what I will accomplish tonight. Right now, we're going to talk about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving down there in Brooklyn. Will they ever be traded? Cool. Do you think what's your whole mindset behind the situation?
So I'm going to put it to you like this. Kevin Durant is not going anywhere. He's going to sit in Brooklyn, stew in his juices. It is what it is. They are putting out there a package that nobody's going to meet because they know they're not, and they're not going to trade him. Now, he may get his wish when it comes to getting rid of his coach, because his coach should have never been the coach anyway. Steve Nash should have never gotten that job. Steve Nash had as much experience doing that job as anybody on this panel had. So how did he get that job? So him getting gone, it is what it is. As far as the general manager, it's probably not going to happen either. But Kevin Durant's not going to be traded. What you would have to give up to get Kevin Durant, most teams are not going to do, because you're going to put yourself in the same situation as Brooklyn's in, and they can't win with him. As far as Kyrie goes, Kyrie's a fool. He's a good basketball player, but as a person, he's a fool. So if they can get something for him, I would let that brother walk. He's got talent, but this is important too. And this is where Kyrie's a little wonky. So for me, if any one of them is going to get traded, it's going to be Kyrie. Kevin Durant is going to be there, whether he likes it or not. Nobody's going to give up what you want for him, and they know that. That's why they're playing it the way they're playing.
Marcus, do you agree?
But no, you already know. You know what? I agree somewhat with what Cool had to say, and here's my take on that. When it comes to Kyrie, there's really no takers for him. They can put out all that stuff in the media and the news, like LA won them, but everybody knows that, when you're dealing with Kyrie, there's no leadership. There's just you don't know if he's going to show up from night to night or whatnot. Nobody's really going to deal with that or give up a couple first-round picks for him. As far as KD goes, he's still going to be in Brooklyn when the season starts because, like Cool said, nobody's giving up nothing for him at this point in his career. We already know that Golden State, he leads you to nothing other than a 3-1 lead blown in the Western Conference Finals. So we know outside of Golden State, he's really, what is he, So nobody's really going to give up their young stars or the young pieces to get Kevin Durant for what, a year and a half maybe, and if stuff don't work out that way, he might ask for another trade, So if he can't go to the best teams and win, then I just don't see anything happening with KD. Personally, would I want him on the Sixers? I know that's a landing spot for him. No, because they asked for like Joel Embiid and other pieces. I'm not giving up Embiid. He's younger and much more. If anything, they both, damn near might say, the same scorers, inside, outside. Well, Joel Embiid gonna give you a better post-up game than Durant, but they both gonna give you about 28 a game, maybe 30. So I'm not really gonna give up Embiid for a 33-year-old Kevin Durant. We all know what's going on in his head, basically. So keep him in Brooklyn. Let him stay there.
Ryan, what's your reaction, sir? Before I get into this, I want to be calm. I want to be calm before I go. I'm gonna let everybody have a chance before I go.
Raw thoughts. I don't know what KD, he on drugs too. He's something going on with KD. Because I'm going to be honest, raw thoughts right now, I'm being realistic. KD's situation is not really about him want to be traded in, out, and out. It's not him whining and crying. The real deal is, regardless of the situation, the pandemic, outside religion, raw thoughts, he expected Kyrie, no matter what, when he got to Brooklyn, outside of injuries, barring injuries, healthy, to play. Now you have this, this rule at the time, you couldn't play unless you're vaccinated, stuff like that. At the end of the day, I guess KD like, look, we can't play basketball. You need to figure it out so you can be on the floor. But he still respects his way of life, so he's not going against Kyrie. But in his mind, raw thoughts here, people, he can't even play basketball. He ain't come about the pandemic. He wasn't going against the pandemic either. His thing was, I want to play basketball, and if I ain't got my star players on the floor, something ain't right. They traded James Harden, which we knew that was already down. Now you got a guy with Kyrie Irving sitting here not playing games, due to the rules and regulations, whatever. But at the same time, it still doesn't matter. KD's looking at it like, you still not on the floor. So I'm out here by myself playing. Now you got that situation. Then you add in, they got a guy who they handpicked as a coach. That's the problem. I got you handpicked the coach. Now you have practices after practices, and now you're sitting here mad because you handpicked the coach, the guy you wanted. Now you're trying to get rid of the coach and the GM. And now the next part is the whole Brooklyn thing is a mess. It's because simple, Sean Marks is now biting his foot, trying to please everybody. Now Sean Marks now has put his foot down, talking about something. I'm trying to recoup everything I done got from all this shenanigans stuff that I done lost. So now he's like, if I'm going to get rid of KD, no matter KD is 50, he's trying to recoup everything. And at the end of the day, everybody in their families, every NBA team owner is still saying to Sean Marks that, no, we're not doing that. We're not giving up our people. You got to be foolish. It's your fault you got rid of those picks for this and that. And you thought you had a caliber championship team. Not everybody going different ways. I feel like the team was just put together. It was like a peanut butter jelly sandwich put together with mustard and ketchup. Everything everywhere. You just not going to eat it. And I feel like that's what it is. And it's not even just starting with KD. You got Kyrie's situation. KD in his mind think he came to a situation they're going to play. Then James Harden, try to get James Harden. They get rid of so many picks to get James Harden, which Houston kind of won that situation. Now James Harden's not there. Now he's in Philadelphia. Now you got Kyrie Irving not playing a certain amount of games, so they got the stuff situated. Now you got a situation where Kyrie said he may want to be traded. He don't know where he want to be. Then you come back and you have KD asking. The whole thing in Brooklyn is a raw thought mess. And that's what it is. And it's not just starting with KD. It's with the entire situation. And now KD is just a part of it because he is the star of the conversation. Because at the end of the day, people saying, like, they look at Kyrie as a good player, but they still look at him as a number 2. So they're looking at him as, like, he could probably help somebody, but ain't nobody dying not to have Kyrie Irving. You know, Kevin Durant healthy can be still box office. He still can get you. Probably you could bring KD to a team and say, hey, we might have a championship. You bring Kyrie to the team, we may if we already have pieces in order. Then you bring in Ben Simmons, who's sitting here relaxed every day making a check saying, hey, how you doing on Ben Simmons? He ain't even trying to do nothing. The whole thing is a mess. I thought something done. Freddie, you can take the flow now, man.
Hold on, Freddie, before you go, let me interject again. I thought Minnesota probably was one of them, organizations be like, do something foolish, like take a John Flynn before Steph Curry, and then Minnesota goes back and say, hold up, I'm going to hold my own damn beer. And then they go spend doggone 5 first-round picks to go get Rudy Gobert.
I agree. And that's the bad part, because now they done messed up the entire market.
There you go.
He's just a shot blocker.
Brooklyn is like,
points. Go ahead.
Brooklyn's like, matter of fact, hold 2 of my beers. How about they get everything under the sun for Kevin Durant? And then as they find it out, Rudy Gobert has more credibility than Kevin Durant.
Ain't nobody else that stupid. That's the point. Ain't nobody else that stupid. Let's say it. That was a stupid trade. That was a stupid idea. And Utah fleeced them fools. And I ain't mad at Utah, because if you can get somebody to do that, you can do that. Let's also remember
Danny ain't always been a master of disguise anyway, so he's in Utah. He's good at that.
I just want to say one more thing about Kevin Durant. This man don't brush his hair. This man don't use lotion. He don't care about none of that. He played basketball.
Right.
So you're right, brother. The whole thing about it is he wanted Kyrie to come and play basketball. You remember the All-Star game in Charlotte when they looked like they was about to kiss? They was all smiling each other's face and all that. See, it's cool when he on the outside of this, like the side piece, right? That you're trying to bring to the main piece, but you made him your main, and now you realizing he was way better as a side piece.
Right.
You can't win with Kyrie because, like I said, he wonky. You can't win with Ben Simmons because he's soft. He don't want to play basketball. I don't know what he want to do. He can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why you make a trade for him. I'd rather just take draft picks. You could have kept him, because Ben Simmons, unless he somehow goes somewhere and becomes a completely different mental person, he's a worse problem than Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really blame KD in one sense for being like, bro, I want out of this. But you made this bed. It's time for you to lay in it, even though it stank. You lay in there and smell that stank, you scars.
That's Sean Morris. Go ahead.
You should have washed them sheets, bought some new ones or something. Got to do comforter or something.
Burn them sheets.
But hey,
that's on
him.
I want to introduce our new our next guest, Mr. Deshaun Tate. What's up, Deshaun? How you doing?
What's up, man? What's up with the world? What's up with the fellas, man? I appreciate you guys sharing this space with me, man. So I would assume we talking about some of this, so I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yes, sir. Give us your whole idea about this Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all this drama that's going on. What's your opinion on it?
This is gonna sound like really bad radio, TV, podcast, viewage, ... fill in the blank here. But as a person who loves this game and respects it, as a student of the game, the way that I do and I have, is it bad to say I kind of really don't care? I mean, I just kind of feel like that's at the point. Like, I know we've been having conversations about, lately player empowerment versus player entitlement. I think there's a happy medium somewhere that you have to find it, somewhere between that. But I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? I mean, let's roll the balls out and let's play and let's
I
Tate
think,
must have went out.
yeah,
my
I think,
bad. I don't
Oh
know
yeah, he
what
good
happened
now.
there. My bad. It might do that from time to time, and please forgive me. Um, y'all should definitely donate so I can get my Wi-Fi together or something. But um, put the GoFundMe out there. Um, but no, like I mean, I just want to see some ball being played. Like I'm tired of hearing the tweeting and the texting and the woofing and the huffing and puffing and smoke screen and blowing smoke. Like I'm ready to talk about some ball. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that it's a business. I understand that. I overstand that. I get it. But let's go ahead and make a sound decision and stand on it and be the person that's like, hey, the biggest thing for me I want to see is like no matter where you land, no matter what your landing spot is or whatever, what have you, and this might not be the most popular take and it sounds real simple and cliche, but wherever that landing spot is, then go win a chip. Like just that simple. Make everybody say this is also this is what he was holding out about. Oh, so this is what he meant. Oh, so they're gonna choose to stick with, you know, the guy in the front office and the coach Steve Nash over me. Okay, I'm about to go make them pay. I want to see those things. I want to see the on the floor stuff, the business stuff. I get it. We can sit around and talk about that all day long, and that's cool. That's fine. But I want to see some guys that's like, you know what? They doubted me. They laughed at me when everybody was talking about Golden State won one without me before me. And then after I left, you know, they won one after me. And if you Kyrie,
Well, see, the good thing about that is that they did win one before him, and they won one without him. So,
and
therefore,
if you Kyrie, you know what I mean? It's like, suck it, Boston. You know what I mean? Th this is who I am, you know, and I'm gonna stand on that as a man. And this is why, you know, I'm the best player in this league. Or this is why I'm one of the best point guards to ever play this game. Or this is why I'm as crafty as I am. Or why they say I'm the most talented or the most skilled point guard or player to ever play this game. I want to see though. I want to see the after effect. This stuff, I don't really have a lot of interest. If I'm just being honest.
all right,
Raw thoughts.
all right. So y'all got everything, got your system right.
well,
Everything
hold
okay.
on.
I know I did. He
Only,
missed my take about
only
everything. But go
because
ahead.
only because he brought up Kyrie being one of the better point guards, and you know, I really dislike Kyrie Irving as a ball player, and I think he's way overrated, and I think he got too much shine, not even too much shine on Uncle Drew. You know what I'm saying? Because Kyrie, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, if he's by himself, or matter of fact, the same team he was with on Boston got farther than they did without him. Same team, mind you. So let's put this perspective. In Cleveland, LeBron damn near carried the team without him after they won the championship. LeBron got there 2 to 3 more times once he left. Then you go to Brooklyn, then your whole headspace just get all caught up in the 2020 year for whatever reason, and it doesn't really shine a light on what Kyrie or what they think Kyrie is. I already know what Kyrie is. A good ball handler, you know, with a good finish with the left to right in the lane, and maybe a nice little, you know, jump shot. But he's not the one that's going to carry a team, or even he's like more so a third best player on a championship team right now. And then if they have LeBron in Cleveland at the time, he's probably still a third best player on a championship team. And that's just my
Shit, I gave him number 2. You gave him number 3. I at least had him at number 2.
listen.
The
I
number
was
2
trying to
player,
be
Yeah,
not
but
number
love
1.
was important.
I was
You
trying to be
said number 3, you
respectful,
skipped
but
number
Love
2.
was
I
important.
was going to say he probably like 6 men off the bench if you ask me.
Shit.
But hey, go
You
for it.
did say you ain't like Kyrie. I get it. That's
I
raw thoughts. You did say
despise
that.
him.
Yeah, I forgot you said you ain't like
He's
Kyrie.
way overrated. Way overrated.
All right, listen here. Listen. Let me tell you this. The reason why this whole situation blew up in their face was because of one person, one man. And let's get this squared away. Kevin Durant did not know, like everybody in the world did not know, that there's going to be a pandemic right in the same season. Kevin Durant did not know that this situation is going to pop up where he would have a guy that did not want to play basketball.
Hold on, whoa. You talking about the fool who thinks the world is flat? It says all kind of foolish and ridiculous things. So if you believe for 1 second that Kyrie was going to be all in on basketball and not let this affect him, you about crazy as he is. So if Kevin Durant didn't know that, that's his own fault because that's supposed to be his boy. That's his own fault if he didn't know that. Continue, sir. I couldn't let that go. Continue. I apologize.
So, like I was saying, Kyrie Irving, even with different situations, proved that basketball was not the main important thing to him. And like y'all said, that means more than anything else to Kevin Durant. He just wants the ball. That's all he cares about. He don't care about anything else. You don't see him engaging with anything else other than playing basketball. He broke up the big three because you had James Harden, even though he put on a fat suit to get there. He did. Even though he came over there and he was ready to play. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to be best for the team to win a championship. He wasn't the James Harden that was going out there giving 40, 50 points and getting a triple-double. He was okay getting 22 points, getting 9 rebounds, and it's just let Kyrie do his thing. Let KD do his thing to help the team win. Okay? But what did Mr. Kyrie Irving do? I don't want to take – hey, like I said, that's his right. He has the right to do whatever he wants to do. But when we always hear players say, I'm willing to do what's ever best for the team to help us win, he was not willing to do that. And this went throughout a whole year. So James Harden, like, you know what? I want out. But like I said, it's more than anything. It's more. Kyrie Irving split this up. And it is what it is.
Yeah, for me, always, like I said earlier before Sean got it's raw thoughts. Like the whole entire thing is a mess. I get what Tate's saying, like he just over with it because mentally it can be a whole mess. You got Sean Marks who created the madness again, who made the trades, made the bait. Kyrie Irving, and I don't even want to get into Zodiacs for raw thoughts. KD is a Libra, so Libras are open and very balanced and trying to see what's out there. So they're gonna always venture and see what's going on. Now, once you venture, they either stay or they take off. And right now, it's just a headache because he's a straight baller. Now you got Sean Morris trying to make moves. James Harden. Apparently, James Harden didn't work. Now you move him. Now Sean Morris has this situation where he got all these draft picks and everything he done got rid of. Like I said earlier, he has to try to find a way to recap it back. That's why he ain't get rid of him because now he didn't realize he done made some moves. Then you listen to KD and Kyrie. They pick a coach. Then they have practice after a coach. After the coach has practice, that's a whole nother headache. And then you got guys trying to figure ways out. And I really think, like, KD really is trying to do, like, everybody, well, Freddie and I take it. After he really is genuinely trying to play ball. That's why he won't out. It's not about conduct, behavior, stuff like that. It's just raw thoughts. It's a hot mess in Brooklyn. You don't know if you're going to get Kyrie on the floor. You come to play ball to win the championship. You ain't come to play by yourself. So now it's like, now you got to compete with these teams in the East, and you're hoping, that's right, you're hoping Kyrie's going to play the entire season. And who knows what the next thing may happen. He may say, the monkeypox is serious. I got to stop. So now you got a whole situation. You try to play ball, and your number 2 guy ain't there. Now you got James Harden gone. Now you got Ben Simmons. Like you guys said in Kuzma game. You don't even know what he going to do. So I just think KD's in a situation like, man, these guys ain't trying to play no ball here in Brooklyn. I know it's going to be hard for me to get this contract and for them to make moves because now I'm stuck because the GM is trying to recap, bring in something that he's going to get off of KD, which is going to be extremely hard at the age he's at. And I don't think a lot of teams want to get rid of this young talent unless it's a team that's just literally one piece away. But the problem is now the GM is asking for what he wants. It's basically like, I'm going to get what I want or you're just going to sit. That's a whole nother problem in itself. But go ahead. I don't know. Tate must took off on me. He must got tired of me talking.
First off, here's what I'm going to tell y'all. I'm so sick of everybody making excuses for Kevin Durant. Plain and simple. It's that simple.
I'm not going to. It's not me not saying making an excuse, but I'm looking at it from the fashion standpoint. Now, I'm gonna say this. Now I'm gonna say this part. So I'm gonna hand it out like here. I don't think he should have left OKC. I think he should have stayed there, regardless if people don't like Westbrook or not. I agree. I don't think he should have left OKC. Everybody thought he was going elsewhere. No, I thought he was going to join Golden State. Now that situation, I did not like at all. But I was glad that situation was over with because KD would have stayed there for the next 3 years outside that injury with the ACL injury. Even though Golden State won this season, we really would be like saying like the only thing in the NBA we'll be talking about is Golden State winning every single year. At least we had a chance this year to say Golden State may not win, but KD would have been sitting there. It would have been like absolutely boring to basketball, man. It would have been unfair to basketball.
All I'm saying is, regardless of once he served his contract out at OKC, I don't care where he went in the sense of you don't join a team that you had down 3-1 and then you run right to him with your doggone.
Hold on, Marcus. I disagree with you because you know what? I killed Kevin Durant. I killed him for leaving OKC. But brother, I'm sorry. I apologize. You can't win with Russ. I understand why you left.
I'm not mad at that. All I'm saying is he could have chose another team that they didn't have down 3-1.
But I want to rebuttal something I said. You know, yes, I understand. You know, I blame Kyrie, but also I'm gonna hold Sean Marks accountable. I'm gonna hold, whoever's in that office run doing business because they did not hold Kyrie Irving accountable. At first, you came out and said that you can't be. We're not allowing you to be a part-time player. But when you see that you needed him, even though you was willing to risk on your word what you said, what you told him. You let off the horse. You let off what you believed in. That you did not want him to be a part-time player, but you was okay. When you start seeing, when things got a little bit hard, because KD had to carry the load, play dang near every minute of the game, you're like, okay, Kyrie, you can play. You can play, be a halftime player. So, and then you allow them to choose a coach who has no experience at all in Steve Nash. So, hey, it's just a hot mess down there in Brooklyn. It really is.
I just got one thing. Who decided that Kyrie Irving was going to Brooklyn?
Kyrie did, I want to say. Yeah, because he opted out or they traded him to Brooklyn.
Durant decided that he was going to bring Kyrie and come to Brooklyn. Brooklyn didn't even know.
Kyrie Irving was already at Brooklyn before KD got there.
No. They got there at the same time. KD was hurt for a year because of the injury. They went at the same time.
Kyrie was there first and then.
No. Look, they went at the same time. They went at the same time. Kevin Durant was hurt for a year, so it took a year for him to play, but they went at the same time because they wanted to play together.
No, you're right. I got you.
So the thing is, KD asked for Kyrie. He got what he asked for. He got it because he asked for it. So anybody who feels bad for Kevin Durant, girl, bye.
Thank you.
Because he asked for it, and that's what he got.
And that's what he got.
But that's not fair.
You don't count, Marcus, because you biased against Kyrie Irving anyway. You don't count. Your opinion don't count this. You already say you don't like him. You say you're going to make the man a six man. So you know you ain't got nothing to say call him a six man.
Let's just stop blaming Kyrie all together because we all knew what Kyrie was outside of LeBron James. So when he got with Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant put these pieces together. He tried to build a team, and he goes to show that he can't be LeBron. It's that simple. And thinking that it's all Kyrie's fault or Short Mark's fault or whatever, no, that's on doggone Kevin Durant. If you're supposed to be this all-time great scorer or this supposed great leader, you got to tell Kyrie, look, I need you. Hold on,
you got to tell Kyrie. He ain't a leader. KD ain't a leader. He don't even. He even admits he's not a leader. He's just a ball player. Leader is two different levels of that now.
You can't take all the credit when you're doing something. Then don't want no credit. When things fall apart. That's just me. So he can't be like, listen, Kyrie, I need you to get this vaccine. You know, 'cause we're trying to win a chip here in Brooklyn. If you can't get Kyrie in line, then that's all on you. You know what this dude is, and you knew when you went to Brooklyn with him, however you want to call it, that
Right.
you was going to be in. And if you
Because
don't
you
account
asked for
for,
him.
yeah, if you can't account for COVID, I get it. But you can always account for what Kyrie is. You had more than enough time to know what Kyrie is before COVID hit. I'm sorry to
I
say.
don't think that's the only thing I probably had a little put a twist into. I don't think like Kevin Durant is not a person ever like even with Westbrook back then. He's not a person that's going to force nobody to do anything. I think in the interviews, I'm pretty sure he probably asked, but it's not a situation where like he's going to be like, "Well, you need to get it because we got to get a championship." I think that's the only thing I probably had to disagree with because like. I'm pretty sure he probably told him behind the scene, man, you get vaccinated. Kyrie probably like, man, I ain't thinking about that, blah, blah, blah. And he probably, okay, all right. You know, because at the end of the day, like everybody has their own opinions, whether it's right or wrong. You can tell somebody, whoever, you know, what you want to do with the vaccination. They may do it, they may not. And then you may leave it alone, or you may say, you know what, you ain't got to get it. I just want to be around you. Everybody has their own principal opinions about COVID and the vaccinations. I don't even get into that because everybody has their own world and they can turn heads left, right, up, down. But I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure I can't see him not asking Kyrie one time, at least one time, bro, you gonna get vaccinated? Kyrie probably gave him, he's Aries, he probably gave him a lowdown, like, I ain't doing. And Katie was like, all right, man. Cool,
Now,
whatever,
before
man.
anybody else goes with this vaccination thing, this is my main concern because when it comes to private entities and whoever your employer is, if that's what they want you to get, then that's what you're supposed to do. Regardless
If you want to work for him or you just don't work for him, that's another thing. I'm just giving you both sides of it.
There you go. So I don't care how much money you make. If this what the stipulation is for you to play basketball and your main goal is to win the championship, get it done. Because I see Wiggins change his mind and won a title.
Right.
Why couldn't Kyrie do it? I'm quite sure people would say Kyrie's a better basketball player than Andrew Wiggins.
Well. To me, it's more than
word. You said the magic phrase. If you want to win, if that's your main goal, then don't see it to be Kyrie's main goal.
Oh, go ahead, man. This your show, Freddie. My bad. I know we're gonna be on this all night. We ain't even got to the other topics. Raw thoughts.
Listen here. Let's talk about it. Let's go to LA land.
Oh boy.
Mr. James. LeBron James. The guy that brought us number 17 to tie us with the
Another failed GM.
What'd you say?
I said another failed GM.
They won us a championship. Something that, you know, when we was going through the playoffs, remember we played against Denver Nuggets and we had Nikola Jokic's number? Y'all remember that? Okay.
I remember the next year, this past season after that, when you got by the Denver Nuggets. Did you forget that?
Listen.
You listen.
You funny trying to throw me off.
You listen.
He's up for a contract extension. Do you guys think that he should resign, or do you guys think that he should go somewhere else? Deshaun, we'll start with you.
I mean, listen, this game is not about loyalty. Clearly, you know, go where you want to go. My whole thing is just know that you're going to be held accountable for everything that happens, whether you're winning, losing, or anything in between. No matter what number you add to whether it's the left or the right side of the result column, he's primarily going to be looked at as the reasoning behind why they got to that point. The thing about somebody like LeBron is he's the one that he builds the team. He's the everything. He's the everything to that team. Coach of that team. If there's somebody that LeBron James doesn't want on that team, they won't be on that team. If there's somebody that LeBron James wants on that team, and it can happen, then they're probably going to be on that team. When it comes with L's, he has to accept that. When it comes with W's, The haters have to accept that. I mean, for me, it's real simple. Like, I think that the Lakers is going to be a team that's going to win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years. It's just really about, what is going to be built around them. We've seen this multiple times in terms of him doing things his way and building his teams. And I mean, the reality is that nowadays guys are bouncing around. That's why I wasn't really mad too much about the whole, like, you guys were talking about KD leaving one team that he lost 3-1. And then is that the way that I feel like the consensus of us were raised to do it in that way? Probably not. But this isn't that anymore. Like, these guys are friends, and these guys, I think LeBron James, and I don't know if it's right or wrong for me to put this on him, but it kind of seems as if LeBron is the one, you used to grow up and seeing guys want to prevent other guys from winning titles. I think LeBron wants to see the guys that he grew up with and the guys that came in his draft class. I think he wants to help them. I think it's about helping one another win championships together. Wouldn't surprise me to see him teaming up with Chris Paul over the course of the next 1 or 2, 3 years. Same thing with Melo. Same thing with a couple of these different guys. We've seen it with Wade. We've seen it with Bosh, and I think that it's something that's likely going to happen again. But it's Laker land. I know a lot of, I don't get into the best ever stuff so much. But if he wants to put himself in the position as being considered the best Laker or one of the best Lakers ever, based on not his talent, but based on his resume, he got a lot of making up to do, because while he did win a championship, what is that, probably 700, 800 something days ago, he also missed the playoffs, not just this most recent time, but prior to winning that championship. So, I mean, I'm ready to enjoy the legacy that people are putting in front of them, and playing in a place like Cleveland. That's cool. It's a little market. Playing in a place like Miami, it's a bigger market, but it's not. None of this is LA. This is where you're looking up there and you're seeing number 13 Wilt, and you're seeing Elgin, and you're seeing Magic, and you're seeing 8 and 24 Kobe. Like, now it's time to show that what you're made of. And while we definitely have already seen what he can do, and nobody's necessarily questioning that, in terms of wearing the purple and gold, I think he owes everybody a little bit more than what he's been showing so far. And you got to do a little bit better job than getting guys that that just look like they could appear like they won't, like they won't win a championship. And that's not a dig, and I hate to be long-winded, but that's not a dig to some of the other guys. Some of the greatest players in this game will never win a championship. But I want to see him prevent guys from winning a championship. Who has LeBron really? Give me a good list of guys that's on that upper tier that he's really prevented from winning a championship. And I want to see him do that a little bit more.
KD.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis at some point.
I mean, specifically KD and KD, James Harden, and Westbrook.
I mean, we can just keep going on.
How has he prevented him from winning a championship?
Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan. We can just keep going on and on.
Listen, Deshaun, KD wouldn't have went to Georgia State if it wasn't for LeBron.
You said,
Did we say Georgia
wait,
State?
what happened?
He meant Golden State.
Golden State. My bad. My bad. I just got done talking about the NFL and college football. My bad,
fine.
guys.
No, that's fine. No, that's all good. I was trying to put the pieces together, but I'm talking about a guy that never won. Like one thing, and this is the only. I'm not comparing players, but I'm just comparing in terms of their playing time. when Michael said you weren't gonna win a title during his career, I don't care, you weren't gonna win one. You weren't gonna win one. Like whether you jump to this team, that team, jump to whatever team you want, but you weren't going to win that one.
I think people think Michael's 6 years, three-peat and another three-peat, and then that's his whole career. That's what people
It's
do.
not. No, I'm not saying that it is. But what I am saying is when he was at his best, you weren't winning one. And that fact can't be argued.
It can because he played 15 years, but it can be argued.
But was he at his best? Was he at his best?
I mean, for 3 years he was at his best. For another 3 years he was at his best. So was Scottie Pippen, so was Rodman, and so was Bill Cartwright, so was B.J. Armstrong, so was Steve Kerr.
B.J. Armstrong won on both teams.
So was Steve Kerr, so was Paxson. I mean, we can just go on and on. I can make the case Jordan had the super teams in Chicago in that whole 90s era.
Yeah, that's blasphemy.
For the most,
you're right, Freddie. That's blasphemy. That is blasphemous.
I can make the case he had the super teams.
But for the most part,
blasphemous and that's not.
But for the most part, built. We're not talking about jumping ship. We're not talking about jumping from team to team. I understand Kevin Durant, he did that and so forth. He still won a title. LeBron is what 4 and 6. He's under 500.
Who else can say they made it to 8 straight finals? Well, 10 straight finals by themselves or 8 by themselves.
I can't tell you that nobody. Are we going there? Are we going there to go?
I mean, if I'm gonna lose, I'd rather lose towards the end instead of put down too early.
But
I wasn't good at what I'm doing.
I understand that, but it's just about what kind of fabric you cut from. Because some people feel like, well, damn, hey, I'd rather lose at the beginning. I'm not about to waste my time trying to take her to the prom, and I don't wine her and dine her. I don't rent it out a limousine, and we done ate. We done ate at the finest of the steak restaurant. You feel me?
I'm just saying now. If the prom is your wedding, then I get what you're saying. But if you get to the wedding and that's a ceremony, and then she did you at the altar, that's a different story. So if the prom is your goal, then I get it. But if you're trying to get married, she did you at the altar. But
the prom ain't nobody to attend the prom ain't nobody's goal. But when you got prom king, and you know what's going down when you get back to that room, I ain't trying to hear my head hurt. I ain't trying to hear I'm on my menstrual. Nothing. Not for 6 times. Not 6.
Listen, guys. I don't care. I don't care if I've been married 8 times. I'm a damn good husband. I'm a better husband than this guy and that guy. I'm one of the best husbands in the world. I don't care if I've been to the wedding 8 times. I think the subject of, we hold LeBron to this thing of, hey, LeBron's got to do this for me to give him his flowers, or for me to give him as many flowers as Michael. And I don't like, that's my thing. Let's not forget, Michael had the greatest coach of all time. Not in basketball, guys. The greatest coach in all of sports.
I don't think that either.
I'm not trying to make this a Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate because listen,
it's not a debate.
It's
not a debate.
Listen, and my thing is, I'm a Jordan fan first. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to take away LeBron's greatness or whatever he's done.
Absolutely. In
order for people to keep hyping up Jordan. I'm sorry. Jordan did his thing. He had a great 3-year run, another great 3-year run. Perfect.
Cool. Are you saying you don't agree with Jordan having the best coach of all time?
No, I don't agree that Phil Jackson's the best coach of all time. He's one of the
best coach. I mean, I tell you,
if it's not Phil, who is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
okay,
I ain't the only person. I just want to hear what you got to say.
You got
the only coach,
Greg Popovich.
Yeah, you got a guy. I despise his team. I despise him. I despise the guy he won with. But you got a guy in New England for football. That's
Phil Jackson would knock Bill out.
I mean, that's an opinion.
Yeah. No,
you have no facts to back it up. You have no facts to back it up.
I like Greg
Popovich. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant,
Shaq,
okay.
Scotty.
So,
but you still got to win with it. You still got to put with it. I'm not here to debate.
What's Bill done?
Hold on.
What's Bill done
Hold on.
since? What's Bill done
Hold on.
since
Tom
Tom left?
Brady.
Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on.
hey,
I'm just.
I think that's what Popovich
I'm
comes in
just
like.
listening.
Even though he had
You
Tim
know,
Duncan, he isn't on.
I had to. I'm sorry, guys. I had to come in like
He's
a
not
wrecking
the
ball
most.
tonight.
where's
It ain't
Gino?
the most fascinating watch, but you know, Greg Popovich,
Yeah.
I guess, always found ways to win. You know, Tim Duncan ain't giving you 60, but you know, he ain't Michael Jordan or Kobe, but he still gets his points in different ways. I guess that's what Cool is saying. Like Greg Popovich really didn't have a bunch of guys who would just take over. Now, Kawhi probably could have came there if you'd have stayed healthy and things like that. So I'm not even knocking Kawhi. I like Kawhi's style, but he's just not right. You know, in that category. But I guess what everybody's saying, so I get out this conversation.
Gino?
Huh?
Where's Gino?
I didn't get to the full list.
Oh, Gino,
Where's
when you
Woody?
talking about Gino for UConn, with no doubt.
Where's
That
Woody?
is,
Gino,
that is a
Coach
conversation
K?
to be had. That's a
Where
conversation.
we-
That is
But
the conversation
There
we
is other
had,
people
but-
that you could put in the conversation.
We're not
So
getting
but,
into this K
for you
and
to
we're
say-
not getting into
for you
the
to
K
just
and
come out and
Roy
just say,
conversation.
all I'm saying is,
yeah.
I'm
So
saying for
but
you to
I'm
come
gonna-
out and say Phil Jackson is the best of all time, I'm not going to agree with that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you got
no,
Coach
that-
K, you do got Roy and them guys, and I forgot about that, but I definitely ain't going out.
Mm-mm. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You said what?
No, you don't.
I ain't got who?
You don't have Roy in that conversation.
Oh, I'm a Duke fan. I sure don't got Roy in that
You
conversation.
don't
I
have
got Roy in the
K. You
conversation.
can't have K in that
I
conversation.
got Roy and
I
K
know
in
I'm
that
talking about as in
conversation.
like I'm just saying I don't even want to. I'm not even bringing them guys up in this conversation. That's what I've been saying.
I'm bringing
I'm
them
trying
up.
to get back to the Jordan
Yeah,
scenario. I guess when people say like my guy Ray be saying all the time, like everybody talk about Jordan
can't-
6 rings and stuff like that, but he always try to bring up this real debate about how in the 80s how Magic and the Pistons and Boston ran them home, and people don't never talk about that, but they always talk about the 6 rings that Jordan got, and then they don't talk about when Jordan retired, he left quick. He did come back. Like people don't ever talk about how significant Scottie was. Even Dennis Rodman came from one of those 3-peat rings, you know, who helped out and stuff like that. So he had different role players and spots, but him and Scottie always around. No, they wasn't traded or built. They was built from the draft, which I do agree. But you know, a lot of people don't ever talk about that part of the era. And then with Jordan, and a lot of people always say, this is my guy Ray said, because I don't like to even talk about a conversation, because it could go on forever. He was saying that he beat these guys when they were senior citizens. Magic Johnson had a situation. Gone. Clyde Drexler was young when they beat Portland. He was old. You know,
What
so
about
them guys,
Houston?
all them guys are older in
Houston
them
old?
years, and Jordan was at his peak. But when them guys was young in the 80s, Jordan was getting the broom, I guess. He was getting swept. He was getting beat like he stole some. But once the guys got older, those guys pretty much about to pretty much retire. Then you have Jordan come in, and I guess that's what my guy would say, like mock the senior citizens is what he said. He said, and then you know, John Stockton and Karl Malone were pretty old. So they, I mean, even though Karl Malone played a bit longer,
You know what that sound like to me?
But
I'm gonna let you go
gotta
ahead
be
first,
real about it.
Kane.
I appreciate it, man. I'll make this quick. Those opinions are cute and cool, but this is
it's
the
bad.
thing.
So you trying to tell me Magic Johnson won't old? You won't try to tell me John Stockton won't old? You won't try to tell me Clyde Drexler? These guys were at least 15 years in their career when Michael Jordan played them in the championship. 15 years.
Were they still in the championship games? Were they still the better teams? Were they still in the championships?
Yeah, you want my raw
That's fact
thoughts?
too.
You want my
That's
raw
fact
thoughts?
too.
You want my raw
That's fact
thoughts?
too. They still were.
I really think this era of basketball that Jordan played against, then was not better than this era skill wise. I don't think the 90s were better skill wise than this group.
I don't
So
think
for me, when you say that,
let's agree.
I'm looking at it like
you got to also
really
think about this.
competition in.
This is a different game. You can't hand check now. You touch somebody, it's a foul. You got flop. You have a lot of things that you didn't have.
I think it's better shooters though. I think it's a lot better shooters though. Even can't hand check. It's much more better shooters in this era than back
when you
then.
can't hand check, it's gonna be better shoes.
I think we overrate hand checking as a skill. Let's stop doing that.
No. What I'm saying, it's not a skill, but I'm saying that stops a guy. When you could go put your hand on a guy, whenever he's trying to do stuff, he's different from when you have to keep your hands off of him. You got to stay back. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm saying there was a more physical time. Things now that are flagrant ones would be maybe a common foul back then. So there are differences. But
I
I'm
can
gonna
make the
say
case that this is
But
more.
here's the
Man,
point.
my guy got a whole
Here's
video
the
on
point.
everything you just said.
Heart is a skill.
Here's the point.
Heart
Here's the
is
point.
a skill.
Yeah, here's the point. Here's the point in all
Toughness
this.
is a skill.
We don't have to degrade LeBron James and what he's doing now in order to build up Michael Jordan or keep Michael Jordan at a certain level.
At all.
People always want to come and try to tear someone down to build up the other. In your boy case, he's trying to tear Jordan down to build up LeBron. That's what everybody does. Watch him.
No. Wait. From what I got from it, he shows it. No, this is the thing. I know why he went in. My guy Ray went at it because everybody people come at him and talks about Mike. He don't even get into the conversation and jump on it. So when they come to him, he goes into the mode. He don't wake up and talk about Jordan like Ray can talk about any sport in the world. But somebody come, hey, Mike did this, Mike did that. It ain't Ray trying to degrade him because Ray.
What I'm saying to you is, you can take him out of it. You can look at the people who love LeBron and the people who love Mike. You can take him completely out of it.
Ray is very unbiased. Ray was saying
take him completely out of it. So let's take him out of it.
Ray was basically saying that you said.
Let's take him out of it. What I'm saying is this.
You ain't got let me finish. Let me finish before you go there. So what I'm trying to say is Ray was basically saying what you said before you interrupted. He basically said that you don't have to tear nobody down, just like you said, to show the greatness of Michael Jordan. He said he's tired of people tearing down LeBron, and Michael Jordan don't need nobody to tear nothing down. He's already there. But people still deliberately going at LeBron when we already know the greatness of Michael Jordan. People know the greatness of Michael Jordan. You don't have to tear LeBron down to show the greatness of Michael Jordan. Ain't nobody trying to tear down Michael Jordan. It's him saying that he just get tired of people trying to tear down LeBron when we already know LeBron. We already know Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is great. We're not questioning that. It's a question of everybody trying to tear down LeBron because they want him to be Jordan-like.
Time out.
Freddie. No. I didn't let y'all talk. I didn't let y'all go on. I don't know how the hell we went off the top of him getting an extension, but here we are.
I love how Deshaun.
Y'all are talking about. I'm going to address.
You're not addressing what I'm talking about because I only got to say
it on the light skin
like
guy.
half a sentence.
You blame
so
us for everything.
You ain't going to address what I'm talking about because I ain't talking about nothing yet.
I'm going to address what they're talking about.
Okay. Where is Steve Wilkos?
James.
We get a Steve Wilkos in here to control this shit.
LeBron James is the GOAT, and let's pump the brakes. See, everybody like to bring up LeBron James' flaws, his failures is when he made it into the playoffs. A lot of y'all do, but guess what? Y'all failed to bring up. Y'all failed to bring up that Michael Jordan also failed too before he had Scotty. Y'all failed to bring up the time that he was getting beat in the first round of the playoffs. Nobody ever brings that up about Michael Jordan. But
we keep forgetting that Scotty got drafted in '87. They won their first title to '91. I mean, I don't understand how we keep overlooking this situation.
But we failed to bring up that LeBron James make teammates around him better on the court. He get teammates paid, and I mean, could have got him in the dude went to 8 finals. 8 finals.
He went to 10, but who's counting?
I mean.
And I still think Jordan's the GOAT, but let's keep going.
Can we stop or can we just knock the word GOAT out?
Well, no. Can we add
an S to the end of that?
No.
Like I know like the GOAT debate, the GOAT debate equals great conversation and it does. But cool. Like I was like I said, I came in like a wrecking ball, was trying to, Phil Jackson is not the great, in my opinion, he's my favorite coach of all time. Just because anybody who can make win Ron Artest a championship is the man in my book. But
that's funny.
The games are different. It's like Cool said, all the stuff that they got away with back in the day when Jordan played and all the stuff that they do now, the game is flashier. The game is, built to make ratings. So it's like the NFL. Walter Payton wouldn't last in today's game. Adrian Peterson wouldn't last in Walter Payton's regime. Some of those younger guys, those thinner guys that are quick and speedy, they'd have gotten knocked out if Mean Joe Green had gotten a hold of those guys. But
I mean, this is a basketball topic, and we could do football and run it back.
Yeah.
What I was
I'm talking about
was
time
saying,
periods, you know.
yeah, what I was saying was this: instead of, and this is something I've said several different times, instead of us needing to say Jordan's better than LeBron, Russell's better than Jordan, Kareem's better than whoever, why not just talk about who's the greatest of their era? I don't think anybody would argue of this era that LeBron's played in. LeBron is the best.
Like that.
The era that Michael Jordan played in, he was the best.
Deshaun don't like that. I can tell by Deshaun, the look on Deshaun's face. Deshaun don't like that.
That's cool, but that's how I feel about it. Because it's hard to compare era to era in any sport.
Yeah,
so why not? LeBron's the best right now. There's no one better than LeBron right now. You know, there's arguments to be made that there's a couple of guys that may be better than him, but I'm saying overall, like since he started playing. So that's how I look at it, and that's where I was trying to go, but I was not afforded the opportunity to go there. But that's
I
where I was
understand
going.
what you're saying, but everybody has their opinion. Some folks like Coke, some folks like Pepsi, some folks like store brand stuff. That's all power to them. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like just certain things, you have to have a GOAT conversation, a top 5 conversation, or a Mount Rushmore conversation.
Yeah, you definitely.
You have to have some type of barbershop talk, which is all good. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you like LeBron, perfect. If you like Jordan, perfect. But my whole thing is I'm not finna knock one man to uphold another man. I'm a Jordan fan. I'm going to keep it that way. Only reason why I defend LeBron so much because people come up with these nonsense goal lines to keep moving for this man, and it makes no sense. You know, that's just me personally. And then when it comes to like certain things, goat-wise, I think my grandma makes the best fried chicken. And I'm not going to sit there and debate that with nobody. My mom, she probably comes third on that list. Who knows? But all I know when it comes to fried chicken or macaroni and cheese, my grandma's the GOAT when it comes to that stuff. That's just how it is.
Now, I'm going to quickly answer Freddie's question. I think that LeBron should stay in L.A., and I think he will because of the ghost of Kobe. I don't think he wants to leave L.A. because he wants to try to do everything he can to make L.A. as best they can. The only way I see him ever leaving L.A. is if Ronnie does actually get in the league and he's drafted to another team, because he has said, I want to play with my son. So other than that, I don't think he would leave LA because the whole situation with Kobe and wanting to honor his memory, I think would keep him from leaving LA for anything besides playing with Bronny somewhere else.
I think with him though, like for that same thing with your question, like you were saying as well, it's interesting. Like when I hear about this, you know, LeBron never missed the playoffs. Maybe I might be wrong in Cleveland. Definitely didn't miss the playoffs in Miami. He missed the playoffs at least 3 times. Well, I say 2, but you know the play-in game. He missed the first year. Then they traded off Brandon Ingram and the boys. Next year they get championship. Next year there was a play-in. He lost, I think, to Phoenix. I want to say, I might be wrong. And this year they missed the playoffs. They only been to the playoffs really once. You know, honestly, full go playoffs is the year in the bubble, and they won a championship. That's the only thing that gets me with this situation. But LeBron is a businessman. LA is a perfect mark because he's doing so many other things outside of basketball that helps. And of course, he wants to be there. I think LeBron does want to win, wants to break that scoring title or something he has to break next year in LA. It's a perfect scenario. That's why they want him there. I personally don't know what LeBron gonna do about signing an extension. LeBron ain't no pushing no money. And I know people always say like the GM. The situation with LeBron is still about to get real sticky because now they basically were like, you brought Westbrook in there. As much as I love Westbrook myself personally, you know, but outside that, a lot of people say they don't play with. Everybody got their own opinions, but I do love Westbrook. I just think he's in a bad situation with LeBron because both of them need the ball, and he's not a shooter, so you can't have him playing off ball. You know, LeBron always the number one option over anybody most of the time. You know, and what he played with. So I look at it like, you know, the situation now, they want to take over, you know, Genie, and they want to do things their own way. Now, the hardest part with LeBron is, for some reason, I do think he wants Kyrie there. But the problem now is, even though they want to make moves to make him happy, they really can't. Because now, which I don't blame him as a man, Westbrook opted in on their $47 million. I wouldn't opt out, no $47 million. I don't know what else my contract going to be the next few years. I'm not going to take that cut from my family, my hit. So he has every right to accept that $47 million. Now, the problem is, even if they try to cut him, they got to pay him. And now it still takes away from who you're trying to bring in and sign. So it's almost like you're praying that you can find a partner to take Westbrook. And unfortunately, recently, from what I've seen, ain't nobody trying to take Westbrook. So it's almost like you're stuck with him this year and you figure it out a year whenever next year sometime. And I think that's the biggest issue. So one of the reasons why he want to see how this shit goes, he ain't trying to hurry up and sign a contract. Because again, LeBron ain't in no push for no money at all when it comes to he getting money from other levels. Not ain't just basketball, from other things. It's the concept of, do I want to be here? Do I have a chance to win the championship here? I know we stuck with Westbrook right now. So it's almost like he really has to wait out this year to see what they do. Maybe things change. Maybe Westbrook just plays amazing next season. And I mean, and maybe they can even get a cheaper deal and bring in other people. Or they just say, you know what? I can see what's going to happen. I think this is the first time in LeBron's situation in his career in the NBA where he really doesn't, the first time he really hasn't had control over the business side. Now, he'll still be around. He'll still make decisions. But I feel like it's not like I want this and it better happen, or I'm going to sit out type. You know, because most of the time, LeBron is always orchestrating guys. He the one who got Westbrook there. I feel like it's the first time that they really say, you know what, this is the Lakers organization, not LeBron organization. The Lakers always been a very impactful organization before LeBron was even born. So, you know, this ain't like the Cleveland Cavaliers where, like, they had nothing there he can have power over. You know, so the Lakers dynasty has been around for years before that. They always had guys from Magic to Kareem to Shaq to Kobe. They always find another star that want to come to Lakers land. You know, just like everybody for years and years, even though the Cowboys ain't done any football, people still talk about the Cowboys. When LeBron leaves, the people still gonna be talking about the Lakers. It's just a scenario of I can't raw thoughts. I just don't know what he'll do because LeBron is always a person who can just shock you. You know, I can't say he's gonna sign the extension. If he breaks that scoring title record, then he may say, you know what, forget it. I'll figure it out and just go in the sunset.
Let me ask you this. Did LeBron bring LA a title?
In the bubble, he did. Yes, he did. Just like any other
I'll just
superstar in LA.
Did he bring
Magic did it? Kareem did it. Kobe did it. Shaq did it.
Did he bring LA a title?
I'm not questioning that. I agree. Yes.
So why is Jeannie Buss questioning that? Why are you trying to hold on to 2 first-round picks over Russell Westbrook and hold the Lakers back on winning another title? If that's the case,
I think
because that's what Jeannie Buss is doing. If you try to
she's scared that I think she don't know where LeBron gonna be at, and I think she's scared to give up the first-round picks and LeBron just take off in the sunset.
Well,
I think she's scared. She don't want to lose. She ain't trying to be like Sean Marks in Brooklyn. She's trying to make sure she got.
If he bring you 2 titles in 4 years, you better come up off them 2 draft picks.
Yeah.
And regardless of what else happens outside of that, it doesn't. If it's all about winning championships, then Jeannie Buss is screwing that up big time. Now, whether LeBron signs that extension or not, that's on him. But he's not.
She's trying not to be like Sean Marks, man. She see what Sean Marks is going through in Brooklyn.
Did KD bring Brooklyn the title?
I mean, if LeBron signs, it's probably going to be. If he signs, it's probably going to be another one of those 1-year deals with a second-year option. I mean, I don't think he's going to sign anything long-term.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think he will sign something.
Clearly, Jeannie Buss' priority is not winning. But hey,
you don't think she don't want to win?
That.
You don't think so?
Anybody want to talk about that? Sometimes you can't have women in power. But hey, we're not going to go there.
Raw thoughts. The ball is up. Freddie,
I'm about to say, all right, that's my time.
You know,
that's the cue.
I had a lot of. We had another topic to bring up, but you know, we didn't reach that hour mark.
On that note,
but I will say it's been a great show. Like I said, this is a soft launch. I want to appreciate everybody for coming on here today. Deshaun, I want to thank you, Chase, Ryan, Mark is cool. Thank you guys for coming on. Tell the folks where they can find you outside of the network.
Let's go down the line. Start with Cool.
Cool, he said where they can find you at. Cool, we can't hear you. Cool.
Okay, I can hear y'all now. I couldn't hear anything for a minute.
Oh, okay. They said plug yourself in.
All right, cool. So you can find me Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. PlayCallerSportsTalk.com. On that same link, you're going to be able to check me out starting September the 6th as we premiere the NFL Matchup Madness. We're covering all 32 Kings, every matchup every week. It's something that's going to be dope. A lot of really quality individuals are involved in that. Also catch me on Wednesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eagles Elite Podcast. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, and type in Eagles Elite Podcast. You'll see us. It's new, it's up and coming, but we gonna get it.
Oh, he's an Eagles fan. Okay. Oh,
I'm definitely gonna be watching that show. Philly representing here. So
You,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, cool. You collaborate with Sneaky G every once in a while.
the cool went out again. Go ahead, Marcus.
But yeah, you can definitely find me on my show, the Can't Be Surreal Podcast. I usually push out a show. I usually do a show Mondays, but I don't push them out to about Fridays. Then you can definitely find me on here now, Friday nights when we really get going with the M1 podcast. That's pretty much it with me.
Oh man. Oh man, Raw Mind Sports, Raw Thoughts, man. Raw Mind Sports. You can find me on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Tune in on Instagram, Raw Mind Sports, Facebook, Raw Mind Sports, YouTube, Raw Mind Sports. I got something I'm working with right now, doing a documentary on the football team in my local area. So I mean, you'll be able to see a lot of that stuff too as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess Tate, you next, champ. Unless you done froze.
I'm still trying to figure out who that is that keep putting their finger in the fan. I know y'all hear that noise. Maybe it's just me on my side. Anywhere you find your favorite pod, man, Tate's Take, the podcast. Just kind of getting it back up and running. Tate's Take Tuesdays, working on Fridays, Saturdays, 6 p. Eastern Standard, 11 p. Eastern Standard for them Fridays and Saturdays. Like I said, anywhere you find your favorite pod, social media at Tate's Take Hoops, TATESTAKEHOOPS. We call it where basketball lives. If it's 94 feet long, 50 feet wide, the rim 10 feet high, 23 feet, 1 3/4 inches on the perimeter, the whole nine. We talk about it, AAU, high school, collegiate, March Madness, NBA, playoffs, brackets, Special Olympics, whatever the case may be. Find it anywhere you find your favorite podcast, man. The best, the most entertaining, the most informational, the most educational basketball content on the planet in the form of a podcast. Tell your mama, tell your grandmama, tell your baby mama. Take.
Those.
After Chase, I'm trying to go back because I was freezing up before. I don't know how much y'all got, but go ahead, Chase.
Go ahead, Cool. Go ahead, Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start over because I know I was freezing in and out. So 7:30 p.m. Friday nights, Eastern Standard Time. Play Call Sports Talk, live interactive sports talk. I'm half of the tag team champs of interactive sports talk. Check us out. You're going to like what you see. NFL Matchup Madness, same place, different day, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 32 reps covering all 32 teams. We talking football, all the matchups in the order that you see them on NFL schedule every week. That's going to be fun, new and exciting. Also, I got the Nfc Beast Podcast. That's on Saturday nights. We're still working on where it's going to be streamed at, but that's going to start the Saturday before the season. That's also going to be with some dope individuals that have been doing things in the game for a while. So honored to be on that show with them. Also on Wednesday nights, Eagles Elite Podcast, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check that out. YouTube, Eagles Elite Podcast. You see the logo. You see what we got going on. There's still more coming. I'm working. I'm grinding. But that's what's out there for now.
Absolutely. I go off of CR Media 1988 on social media. You're going to find that on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. All my shows you can watch on Facebook Live and TikTok. And right now, my big thing is professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is my number one love, and football is tied. I've got a football's my side piece, and professional wrestling is who I come home to that makes me meals. So on Monday nights, I got something called the Pit Stop, where we interview local Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas independent wrestlers. On Tuesday nights, I do Arrowhead Asylum. It's a Kansas City Chiefs NFL talk. On Wednesday nights, we watch AEW Dynamite, and then afterwards, we kind of just talk about the show that went on. Thursday nights, the I-70 Hot Tag. Again, we reverted back to Missouri and Kansas independent wrestlers. We got a show that we're sponsoring at the end of the month. Super excited about. It's going to have Arn Anderson for all you old heads out there that watch the
lucky you.
Double
Yeah.
A.
That's right. His son Brock Anderson is going to be wrestling at this show, so Arn's going to be there showing support to him. So we are the official. The I-70 Hot Tag is the official sponsor of that. On Friday nights, I don't have anything going on, and Saturday and Sunday I like to keep it. I do unfortunately have a wife and 3 kids that require my attention as well. So on the weekends, I like to save it for them. But had something going on tonight. My Tuesday night show was rescheduled to tonight, but we wrapped that up, and then I was able to come in and catch you all right here. But super excited to get to know you guys and collab. And if you guys need anything at all, graphics, anything like that, hit up the CR Media 1988 tag and just let me know what you need, and I'll do the best I can for you.
Chase, who was the first match at WrestleMania 10?
At the first match at WrestleMania 10, that was
Who was the
Brett.
first match?
That was Brett and Owen because Brett had a championship match later that night.
Talk to me, Chase. Talk to me nice.
I got what you need, brother. I got what you need. So, yeah, man. Like I said, it's funny you mentioned that, Deshaun, man. WrestleMania 10 was the first. I'm 34 years old. I was 6. WrestleMania 10. Shawn Michaels and Razor was the first match I sat and watched, and I looked at the screen and I said, "That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do." So,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm a diehard wrestling fan myself, so I get
How many referees, Chase, did it take to get Bret Hart off of Jerry Lawler in that sharpshooter 93 SummerSlam? Am I on point? Are we here?
yeah, we're too damn many, Deshaun. But my favorite,
I don't remember, but yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the Kiss My Foot match between Lawler and Bret was one of my favorite. When I was a kid, man, I loved. That was the coolest thing in the world, watching Bret make Jerry Lawler kiss his own foot after Jerry had been walking in hog pins and didn't wash his foot and had callus on there and green stuff. Yeah,
man, y'all better get me and Chase. Y'all better hurry up and end this thing because me and Chase finna go battle for battle in a minute.
I clocked out of work at 8:00 Central Standard Time, brother, and I don't work tomorrow. My day off. I'd be here all night. You call me Space Mountain because I'm open all year long, baby.
I ain't mad at you.
Hey guys, this was, like I said, man, this was super fun. I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm real big on consistency. So if you say you're going to do a show, like, do it. That's what the people love to see. Especially people that don't have consistency in their life. They want to see something that is consistent. So I promised to do that show tonight. I'm kind of upset. I would have rather have done this than talk to myself on screen for 5 people. So, but pleasure. Appreciate you guys having me, and look forward to doing this again.
Yes, sir.
You guys, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Like I said, everybody, tune in the morning for the big dogs. They'll be on in the morning to bring you all the top college football talk there is at 9 a.m. Eastern. This is the N1 podcast presented by the Empire Sports Network. Until next time, we are out.